So HireBasis last video, which was about 6 weeks ago, we were boasting about 5,000 users on the site. Where are we now? Well, 6 weeks later, 10,000 users. For a 5.5-month-old site, that is pretty good, if I do say so myself. However, am I really that excited and happy about it? Not really. And I'll tell you why. Because we're far below where we should be at this point. Believe it or not, we have 1/10 of the traffic of the #1 job board in the world, which is called FlexJobs. But that's not too bad either. That's actually also part of the good news. What's the bad news? Well, the bad news is a lot of it is not organic. A lot of it is paid advertising. Now, all of the job boards do some paid advertising, but I will say that our natural Google ranking, it's also gone up. I mean, if you look at remote job boards, remote job website or remote jobs website, we are also on the top, I guess, page 3 of Google. There's still a lot of work to do. And that's what's actually the good news, even though it's the bad news. See, in the last 5 weeks, we have done very little UI and UX improvements on the site. There's a reason for that. Because we've been in a transition stage from one vendor to another vendor, which is the developer. I have been using the services of a developer team to develop HireBasis, and we had to, for a variety of reasons, shift over to a new developer team. So that transition has been difficult. It has not been easy because there's just a lot of moving parts, and I'm not going to really delve into the depths as to why it's taken this long, but understand this. In the last 6 weeks, we've been on autopilot. And despite being on autopilot, we've seen tremendous growth and very little improvements to the site itself. And there's a lot that needs to be improved. We need to create a more cohesive design on the site for content. We need to add content. We have an SEO team, another vendor, and that SEO team is not able to do its job because we haven't really been agile to their requests to update and add content to the site. So the fact that we're this far behind on site development, but still getting a good uptake, we're finding users, about 1/3 of the users are actually not only creating profiles, but taking our skills test, our flagship skills test, which is the English proficiency and critical reasoning skills test. So that is very encouraging. If we go on autopilot for another year, we could see a user base of maybe around 100,000, which is very nice. However, I don't want to go on autopilot, and we're not just trying to be a top job board in the remote space. We also want to be something else, which I've discussed before. But before we can even go to that next stage, we need to make some improvements. Before that, we also need to gain and garner the attention and adulation of business users, and we need to gain the praise of the leading bloggers in this space. We need to garner the attention of various media outlets. And before we can even present the board to the big time, and I know once we are able to do that, they're going to like it, because I myself have used the board myself with a successful result. So it works. There's proof of concept, and it's just a matter of time before this becomes widely known. We're still, even though we have 10,000 users in 5.5 weeks, 5.5 months, we are still very under the radar, and it's because there's a lot of improvements that still need to be made before we put ourselves squarely on the radar. So that's basically where we are right now, and the future looks bright. and we're just going to keep pushing. Every single gear in this machine is going to be now well oiled, and we are ready to go, and we are ready to get things to the next stage. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.